You got man. All right, so let's get into the final topic, guys. The final topic is about these streaming services, which I know we all use, which is exactly why I brought out this topic in the first place. You know, your Amazon, Prime, your Netflix, your Hulu, your Disney Plus, whatever it may be. They got all types of stuff now. They got Peacock, you know, all of them. But there, it says that they're removing tons of movies and shows, and it's not personal, it's strictly business. Let me make this a little bit bigger. All right, so let's see what's going on. What is the business side of this? And you can already see Disney Plus right here. We've got a woman watching Disney Plus. I got Disney Plus on the back right here for Josie. You guys can't see him; he's too low. But yeah, we've got Disney Plus Mickey Mouse on for Josie right now. So Josie is going to be real angry if he can't be watching his Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So we're gonna need that. So if they're gonna at least remove it, potentially, we want to know why. So let's see what's going on here. It says streaming was supposed to be forever. That's a touching line right there. It says that was the promise of a digital library of movies and TV shows. Yeah. You would have thought once I had access to a show, I wouldn't lose access to that show if I ever wanted to watch it again or anything like that. Now it says consumers got used to Netflix cycling through titles, aware that as Hollywood studios launched their own streaming services, proprietary content would transition to a new platform. Even when Warner Bros. Discovery pulled content as a part of a planned tax write-off tied to its manager, consumers seem to accept the move as the cost of doing business. Sometimes you may have to give up a few shows. Now it says, however, as Disney is set to yank dozens of shows and films from Disney Plus and Hulu, including Willow, the Mighty Ducks came. Oh man, they can't touch the Mighty Ducks, guys. The Mighty Ducks is legendary. If you guys haven't seen the Mighty Ducks, definitely check it out. It's a classic. And the Mysterious Benedict Society, subscribers are suddenly faced with a new reality. At first, I expected any show that was on a streaming platform would stay on the platform. This was Conrad Burton, an account manager at a transportation company in Rayla, North Carolina, but I started noticing things expiring. Now it says, what's the deal? After the initial boom of new platforms and subscriber growth, aided by the pandemic lockdowns and a surge of fresh content, the digital streaming industry has cooled. And Wall Street has turned up the heat on media companies, now focusing on if and when streaming will be. Hey, man. Hey, what you got going on, man? We streaming, bro. We're making content. He's in a talkative mood right now, or whatever you can call that. Now it says the change came last year after Netflix reported its first subscriber loss in a decade. Hey man, Josie. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. I'll be playing with you soon, man. Now, it says what is hitting their income statements is the amortization of content that's already been made and released. Said Michael Nathanson, analyst at SVB. Oh gosh, SVB. Moffett Nathanson. Warner Bros. Discovery was one of the first to figure this out, so we have to give credit where it's due. They said they need to get their earnings up, so they started taking shows off the app. Disney is now doing that, and we should expect Paramount, oh, that's another one, to follow suit. And one day, Netflix may even do the same thing. So it's almost like, too, you hear about Amazon, you hear about Apple, you hear about Google cutting employees and everything like that because they have to pay for those. It's the same general idea with shows. A lot of times they have to pay to keep a show up on a month. You know what I'm saying? If you're Hulu and you want to have Family Guy, then you have to pay the owners of Family Guy every month that you have it running. That becomes a big part of your budget. And as we know, their budgets aren't as big as they used to be after this post-pandemic recessionary era. So for that reason, these cuts do seem to kind of makes sense. Do I like it? No. Is it fair to the consumer? Honestly, no. Because the consumer probably bought these products, in these live streams, assuming that they would, be getting access to a certain product that is now changing. Now, would they reduce the cost because of this? Absolutely not. And that's where it becomes a thing where it's like, it really becomes a negative for the customer, but also you have to handle some negatives as a customer, essentially, to keep the business that you love going sometimes. Or else you will never be a customer because there won't be a business anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it says it's been difficult for customers to understand why content made specifically for streaming platforms has been removed, especially when Netflix originals remain untouched in its library. From a consumer standpoint, they want to always be able to have access to their content. Absolutely, I am the same. It says the part that really confuses consumers is because they don't understand how content is licensed. They do get confused when one day content is on a service and then disappears, or the content is still in the service, but it's only for X number of seasons. Yeah, if you guys have seen that, especially on Hulu, sometimes, certain seasons will be, available, certain seasons won't, and you'll be like, wait, what? Why is this show on here? But there's only a few, seasons, and it's because they only have a license to show that amount of seasons. Now it says removing content from platforms is a way for streamers to avoid residual payments and licensing fees. Much like a syndication of Hollywood's yesteryear, streaming services must pay for the right to host a title. He noted that if a title is not owned by the streamer, then a licensing fee must be paid to the studio that owns the content. For example, Hulu licenses The Handmaid's Tale from MGM Television. So as you might think, The Handmaid's Tale is only on Hulu, like that must be owned by Hulu. No, Hulu is paying MGM Television for the access to The Handmaid's Tale because they created the show. And a lot of times, if you're not smart, if you're smart, you don't do a direct buyout. You know what I'm saying? Like $50 million for The Handmaid's Tale. What instead you'll do is, something like, $3 million per year to have The Handmaid's Tale available, and everything like that. It says even titles that are owned in-house must be licensed as well. This I didn't know. That's why NBC Universal had to pay itself $500 million to stream Universal TV's The Office on Peacock and Warner Brothers. Discovery paid $425 million for the streaming rights to Friends. So even though they kind of have to pay themselves, especially when smart companies like Warner Bros had to pay WBTV, Warner Bros TV. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like Warner Bros Discovery, Warner Bros TV. Warner Bros Discovery, as far as the books, has to pay them for that. If they don't do that, that also decreases the value of their asset. If somebody else was to come in and ask for Friends, then there's no longer a valuation on it if they created it themselves. Now it says by removing content specifically made for streaming rather than licensed shows and movies. I heard something at the door. I was like, what is that? Warner Bros. And Discovery and Disney can immediately cut expenses. Warner Bros. Discovery saved tens of millions of dollars after eliminating content. The studio's removal of movies and TV shows began last summer with titles such as Sesame Street and The Not Too Late Show with Elmo and teen drama Generation. But in ensuing months, more and more original HBO and Max content was removed. Most notably, sci-fi dramas Westworld. Oh yeah, a lot of people really like that. I actually need to watch Westworld. If you've seen Westworld and you thought it was hitting, definitely let me know in the comments. And let me know why you thought it was such a good show, too, as well. Now, he said, in my opinion, it discourages subscribers from checking out future original content. Streaming used to be seen as a safe haven for consumers who were sick and tired of seeing shows canceled on the traditional TV. Now, streamers are following suit by canceling their own underperformers. And I'm actually going to leave it by that because I want to get the conversation going here, guys. I think we get the general idea of this. Obviously, they're cutting content because we're in a recession right now and they need to make money. Netflix, all of them, Hulu and everything don't necessarily own the content. So every year they're paying for that content. So content that's probably on the lower end of the spectrum, people aren't watching it too much, or it may even be on the higher end of the spectrum, but the price is just too expensive, too unaffordable, then they may not be able to, continue to have this. Now, the question here is, do you guys think this is fair? Do you guys think there should be a price reduction when things like this happen? Like, imagine you bought HBO simply to be able to watch Game of Thrones, and now Game of Thrones is no longer on there. The product that you bought is no longer that product anymore. So traditionally with other things, if you're not going to do that, or if the product is going to be worse, there's a decrease. You know what I'm saying? If you order ramen noodles and you have all the fixing, you got beef in it, you got chicken in it, you got shrimp in it. If they take out the shrimp, what do you expect? You expect a decrease in your cost because of that. So just let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know if you've also kind of experienced, this hard hitting itself where a show that you've really liked has been removed and what platform has been removed from and everything like that. And just let me know. Just let me know. Let's get the conversation going, guys. And, maybe we can really get something going, and we can start a petition to end this, That's probably not going to happen. But, hey, it would be great. It'd be great. But thanks for all the conversations you guys have. Thanks for all the love you guys always show the channel. I really do appreciate it and everything like that. And I hope you guys all have a great day. And thank you for tuning in to the stream.